Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited about this video because it's a tag, and I was tagged by the lovely Kathy from Kathy Beauty Care Chats. And I have known Kathy for probably 4 years, which is about the length of time I have been on YouTube. And she is the sweetest, nicest, absolutely genuine gal from the South. She's from Texas, and I just love her to bits. In fact, my whole family love her. Nora, as soon as she hears your voice, Kathy, she comes right over and points to the screen and says, "Kathy, Kathy." And my husband loves you. He thinks you look like Donna Mills, which you absolutely do, only you're more gorgeous. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into this tag. And it is, of course, none other than a fragrance tag because we enable each other, Kathy and I. And since this quarantine, we have kind of put a positive spin on it. Not that there's much positivity going on around this dreadful COVID-19, but in order to keep our spirits up, we kind of got into learning about fragrance, learning how to identify the notes in fragrance, and we've kind of been, you know, back and forward messaging each other and talking about different fragrances and should I buy this, should I blind buy this, and that sort of thing. So anyway, the first question is, how many perfumes are in your collection? And as of today, I have 15. I got another fragrance today, and it was the Sophia. So I'm just kind of on a roll. I'm wearing the same top, and I'm sitting outside, and it's starting to rain. It's really hot, but it's starting to rain. Number 2, favorite fragrance ever. I'd have to say my favorite fragrance ever would have to be the one I wore the longest, the One. And I've been wearing that on and off, and I'm probably on my 3rd or 4th bottle of that. I can't even count anymore. So number 3, oldest fragrance in your collection. And the oldest fragrance in my collection would be my Chanel number 5. And that's my 2nd bottle. I don't wear it all the time. You know, I would tend to wear that one more when I have a shower at night or a bath, and then I put it on at night or in an evening or a garden party or something like that, right? So the newest one, of course, is my Sophia, and it just arrived today, so, and I did a video on that. Whether it goes up before this or after this, I'm not really sure. Most sentimental. It would have to be the Oscar de la Renta, and this is their original fragrance by Oscar de la Renta. And the reason why this is sentimental to me, and I'm not going into any of the notes of this because it will make it way too long, is because my cousin wore this, and this was her signature fragrance, and it has that sentimental, when I smell it, I think of her, and I loved her dearly. So that would be my most sentimental. Number 6 is fragrances you could live without but just can't seem to get rid of. I have a couple of those. I would have to go with the Celine Dion. Now this bottle is almost empty, but I do have another bottle because I did love it. And the reason why I loved it so much is because this was purchased, I think it was this bottle actually, was purchased in Las Vegas. And it was when my girlfriend and I went to see Celine Dion. So when I smell it, I think of that time and going to see Celine Dion in concert. So, but I could live without it. It's not a fragrance that I reach for anymore, but when I want to think of that time, I can spray it. So let me just spray it now. It just brings back that memory of Las Vegas. It's incredible what perfumes can do for you and the memories that they bring up from your heart. Number 7 is fragrances. Favorite type of scent notes. And I like fruity, floral, sandalwood, vanilla, violets in particular. I love violets. And yeah, those are my favorite. Those are my favorite type of notes. Number 9, what do you do with fragrance samples? Well, obviously I try them. Most of the time they are not they're just not me. So a few of them I will pass on to my husband. If he doesn't like them, then I will give them to the kids. If they don't want them, I throw them out. Favorite packaging? Well, I'm going to be a little bit contradictory here. Not contradictory, but a little bit different than you, Kathy. And it's going to be Jean Paul Gaultier. And this is Classique Intense. And this is my favorite packaging. First of all, I love the shape of the female body. I think it's gorgeous. It's a great feel in your hand to spray. Some of them are awkward to spray. This one, you hold it like that and then you just spray it. And this is my favorite packaging. What is my, okay, number 11 is what is my least favorite packaging? I had a hard time with picking my least favorite packaging because I actually love them all, but I think it's going to have to be the Dolce & Gabbana, the one. It's just heavy and bulky and not so easy to spray. I just find it's awkward to spray and holding it and spraying it. I don't know. It's just, I love it, but I don't love it. Does that make any sense? Anyway, moving on to number 12, which is fragrance you want to try but haven't pulled the trigger on. And actually, there's so many of them, but I'm going to narrow it down to some Jo Malone. And they're super expensive, but I would like to try a few of them. So I may pull the trigger and get some samples. I know Kathy loves Jo Malone, and a few other people have talked about it. So I'd like to try that. I'd like to try a few more Tom Ford. So there's a cherry one, I think, in Tom Ford. Can you hear the rain on the roof? So I'd like to try that one as well. So yeah, but those are expensive, so I would really have to try a sample first. Number 13 is, do you mix fragrances? No, I don't. I don't have the knowledge to do that yet. But I would like to ask you ladies, if I were to mix this with something, what would it be? Because I cannot stand this fragrance, and it is Michael Kors Sexy Amber. And it has a very distinct synthetic smell to it. It's very bitter, so I need to, I think, use something that is a bit sweeter or maybe more floral. I don't know, but as you can see, I have barely used it. I got it a couple of months ago and I haven't used it. It's pungent to me. It's pungent, it's synthetic, and I do not like it. So I would like to experiment with it. So if you have any ideas at all, please tell me what I should use. I just don't like the smell of it, and if I can't figure it out, I'm going to have to give it away. So yeah, this, you know, I have barely used it. I did throw out the box, but I have barely used it, so it may be in a giveaway coming up soon for anyone who loves it. So moving along with this tag, I had to close the blinds because it's pouring rain. And the next question is number 14, which is first perfume you remember wearing. Oh my gosh, I was a teenager. Probably, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 years old. And I remember wearing and buying this tiny little bottle of Pagan, and I will write it down below, and it was Pagan, and I didn't like it. It was very woodsy, kind of very masculine, if what I remember correctly. It was a very masculine fragrance, and that was one I didn't like. One I did love back then, and I don't remember what it smells like, and it's Charlie, C-H-A-R-L-I-E, and that was another one. And some Avon ones, random ones that I bought in Avon that had these like little animals. They were full of perfume. You can see them on eBay now, like they're like a vintage perfume bottles. And I remember having a little deer, like a little Bambi deer one, and quite popular, and it's called White Shoulders. And I actually loved that. I think it was a very soft, powdery smell, if I remember correctly. So yeah, those are some of the ones. But Pagan was the one I remember, and it was quite pricey at the time, I believe. So number 15 is perfume you dislike that everyone else loves. I could not think of a perfume that I like, that I dislike, that everyone else loves. That question, I honestly have no idea. I just don't know. Because there's lots of fragrances I dislike, but I don't know if other people like them or not. So I can't answer that off the top of my head. If I think about it, I will link it below. Number 16 is recent fragrance regret. Okay, yes, and I didn't bring it out with me. It was my biggest regret buy, but it was a cheap regret buy, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And it was the Bob Mackie by Bob Mackie, but it's okay. I spray it in the air and I quite like it, but when I spray it on me, I don't like it. So I will possibly use it as a room freshener. And I will give it another try. I will definitely give it another try. And last but not least is number 17, and it's some of your favorite fragrance channels. Well, some of my favorite fragrance channels would have to be at the very top of my list, who I've been following loyally on and off for 4 years, and her name is SMURFYGIRLY. And I met her when I first started, and she's just a doll to watch. She comes from England. She has a passion for fragrance. Her whole channel is about fragrance, and I'm going to link her channel below. You need to go watch her. She does a lot of vlogs. She does a lot of unboxings of blind buys, first tries, that sort of thing. And she has helped me purchase some really nice fragrances. And number 2 on my list would have to be Abby from Abby with Love. And I mentioned her in another video, an unboxing, because it was her that recommended the Sophia. And another girl is Simple Chic Life. And she's a Canadian gal, and she has a fabulous channel. And yeah, she has a lot of fragrances that I have and love. So another one would be, oh, and I'm not sure, of Actor Files. I'm butchering your name, I'm sorry. OLFACTO Files Fragrance Reviews, and I will link it down below. And I'm going to link all these girls. Now, a guy that I watch, and he's English, and he does a lot of female fragrances, and also, what do you call them when they're male and female? He does a lot of those. And he did the review on the one I blind bought, which was Insolence. And it came in the little cute little bottle. Where are you? This cute little bottle. And he did a great review on that, and I just put this lid on it because it didn't come, because it's a tester, so it didn't come with a thing. And I just love this. I could just eat my arm off. As Kathy says, I could eat my arm off when I wear this, and I love this. Just love it to bits. So, yeah, so his name is Ouch 110 Fragrance Reviews, and he's so entertaining, and I love him to bits. There's a bunch of others that I will write down below. It's MJ is another girl, and Emmy Ever After is another girl, and if I've left any of you gals out, please forgive me because I watch so many of you. Another one is Emmy's World Fragrances. So all those gals, I'm going to link them all down below. They're well worth checking out. And that is this tag. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all on my next video. And as I always say, don't let anyone ever dull your sparkle. Bye.